Do you struggle to find jeans that fit your lovely lumps and bumps and curvy bits? I think it's something a lot of us struggle with, and therefore the thought of making jeans or trousers that fit is really scary. I know I've shied away from it in the past, but no more. Let's look at sewing a pair of jeans together. I have typically shied away from sewing jeans or trousers that take more fitting than a pair of wide leg elasticated trousers because the thought of trying to mold fabric around my lovely lumps and bumps and curvy bits is somewhat terrifying. But they deserve good jeans and yours do too. So I am going to make some jeans and get them to fit, and they're going to be amazing. So I had 3 different patterns in mind. The first was the Tilly and the Buttons Thea trousers. I have sewn a pair of these before and they didn't quite go right. There is a lot of fitting issues for me. I think the pockets create some extra issues with that one. So instead of trying to fit those, I've gone in a different direction. The other pair of trousers that I was considering was the Closet Core Pietra trousers. However, I think they're better suited for slightly lighter weight fabric than denim, but they are definitely on my list of garments that I want to sew this summer. So enter Helen's closet and her new Falconer pants. Ooh! Helen's closet and her new Falconer pants pattern. I really love these trousers, or I love the look of these trousers, and I love the fact that they are geared towards, they can be jeans, they can be sewn in denim, or they can be sewn in other fabrics as well, which is why she's called them pants rather than jeans. I also like the fact that the pockets are on the side of the leg rather than your standard jeans pockets, which I think is going to make the fitting process a little bit easier. And I think we should start easy on ourselves rather than go all in. Let's start and go nice and gently. The other thing I like about Helen's closet is she does cater for plus sizes and curves. And when I had a look at the pattern measurements, I only had to grade between 2 sizes for my waist and my hips, which was a bit of a breath of fresh air. Quite often there's a lot of patterns where I have to grade 4 or 5 sizes and it's a little bit demoralizing. So that was another plus point for me. Now the Falconer pants come in either a wide leg version or a barrel leg version, which I have been seeing a lot of lately. I'm just not sure if it's a style that's for me. I'm in 2 minds. I have a lot of thigh, so either they're going to exaggerate my thigh or they're actually going to sort of look normal, if that makes sense. They're not going to look like barrel leg. Does that defeat the object, or will it be a subtle curve? I don't know, but I'm not going to sew those this time because I want to make sure that they're going to fit me right, and I love wide leg trousers, so that is what I am going for. Now, I am going to toile the pattern, but I'm going to toile it in a denim that I have. I have a stretch denim. It's only got 3% stretch in it, so it's not too stretchy. It does say on the pattern that it should be for non-stretch fabrics. However, I have seen on Helen's Closet Instagram, she's talked about sewing a pair in stretch denim. So I thought, why not? And maybe it might help the fitting process as well. So I'm going to make a toile, but I'm hoping, if it goes well, that it will be a wearable toile. I imagine there will be a few fitting things that I need to do in order to get them to go right. So yes, I'm going to forge ahead, and I'm going to start off, before I cut, I am going to grade between the waist and the hips. So I am a size 26 at the waist and a 30 at the hips for reference. Obviously, make sure you measure yourself whenever you sew a new garment because different patterns do their sizing in a completely different way. So that's really important. So on Helen's Closet, I'm a 26 at the waist and a 30 at the hips. So I am going to get those sewn up and I will show you how we're doing with the fitting. Oh my God, these are already looking amazing. I am so excited about these. So I followed the instructions. The fly zip came together beautifully. And in the instructions, Helen suggests to baste fit the rest of your trousers. So sewing up all the trouser leg pieces and then adding your outer waistband on. So that's what I've done. I am so impressed with how well they fit already, but there are a couple of things that I'm going to tweak. So I will tweak these on this fabric, on these particular jeans, and then any changes that I make, I will transfer that onto the paper pattern for my next pair. So starting at the waistband at the back, I can see that there is a little bit of bunching. So there's a bit too much fabric in the back of the waistband and I need to do a little sway back adjustment. All I'm going to do on this one is once I unpick the waistband, I will just gradually take in that back center seam, just sort of like take a wedge out of the back center there, and that should make the waistband fit really nicely. I am very excited, by the way, at not having to wear belts. A lot of my jeans I have to wear belts because I've got bigger thighs, bigger hips than my waist, so it always needs to fit my hips and then I need a belt in the waist. So I'm really excited about wearing jeans that don't need a belt. So yeah, I'm going to change the waistband. The next thing is I feel like I've got a little bit too much fabric sort of across the front underneath my tummy, sort of at the crotch area there. Feels like there's too much fabric. Now, I've done some research, I've looked into this, and a lot of people are saying that you only need to make minor adjustments to trouser fitting in order to make a big difference. I can see that I've got some drag lines that are sort of coming down from my crotch down towards my leg. Looking at all the advice out there, it looks like I need to shorten the front crotch a little bit. So what I need to do on these particular pair of jeans is just unpick the inseam and bring in the front leg a little bit. On the pattern, on the paper pattern, I would just shorten the front crotch maybe by a centimetre or two and gradually blend that in to the inside leg seam. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to do a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch, try it on, see if that's made a difference. Another 1/4 of an inch, try it on and see how that works. The other thing I'm thinking, so depending how that goes, I might then take in the front leg seams and maybe the back leg seams a little bit as well. I feel like although these are supposed to be wide leg, there is a lot of excess fabric. So it fits really well across my tummy and my hips, but I think I just need to narrow the legs a little bit, sort of from just underneath my tummy down. I've got my online sewing social with ThreadySetGo tomorrow morning, so I'm going to work on these then and see how we are getting on at the next stage of fitting before hopefully finishing everything off and having a beautiful pair of jeans. As if by magic, what appears to be but a moment for you has actually been about a month since I last filmed, and I am now in somewhere completely new. If you saw my video, my last video, you will know that I have closed the SewHayleyJane subscription box business and moved my studio home. That's not what this video is going to be about, but I have now set up my new studio at home in the spare bedroom. And yeah, sorry if that's a little bit jarring. Back to making the Helen's Closet Falconer jeans. Lots has happened, obviously. So I made the toile version and I was really happy with them. But I did wear them out and about and I definitely felt not uncomfortable in them. They were really comfortable, but there was so much fabric bunching around sort of under my tummy, around the crotch area. There was a lot of excess fabric there. So I decided round 2, make another pair, this time in a viscose linen. So what I did was, there is actually a lengthen and shorten line at that exact point on the pattern. Handy, huh? Who knew? There was me trying to figure out how on earth I get rid of all this excess fabric, and when I went and looked at the pattern, the answer was there, clear as day. So I cut along the lengthen and shorten line around the front legs, the side panel, and the back leg, but actually around my bottom I didn't feel like I had any excess fabric, so I left a hinge at the centre back seam, and I took an inch off of the front. So from the centre front and around the sides I took off an inch, and then from the back of the side panel towards the back centre seam I then sort of did the hinge, so there was an inch out from the side to nothing at the centre seam. And I did that with my viscose linen pair, and oh my gosh, I'm so happy with them. I still basted them together. I did a baste fitting. I still had to take a little bit from the very top around the waistband. I had a bit of a sway back situation going on, so I took a slice off there and took the side seams in. Around the hips it fits beautifully, but my waist is quite significantly more narrow than my hips, so I took in some extra fabric at the waist, and they are amazing. The Helen's Closet Falconer pants does suggest to use sturdier fabrics like denim, canvas, twill, but I did see on Helen's Instagram page that she made a linen pair, and I had a really beautiful viscose linen that I wanted to make a pair of floaty trousers with, so I thought, why not give it a go? And actually they are beautiful. I'm so happy with them. The fly front went in beautifully. I didn't do the top stitching because the pattern's so busy on the fabric. I didn't do the top stitching around the legs. Obviously I did on the waistband, but oh my gosh, they are so comfortable, so beautiful, and the fit now across my tummy is spot on. So I have decided to make a third pair in denim. I had some more of the same denim left, and I decided to go ahead because I don't feel like I'm going to reach for that first pair as much as I would like to. Having taken the time to make a pair of jeans, I obviously want to wear them. So I'm doing them again, and I have already made a really good start. I'm really making a feature of the top stitching. I've done the fly zip, which is looking really nice. The instructions, Helen's Closet instructions, are the best I've ever seen. I've not sewn many fly zips in my time, but these came together so amazingly. So yeah, I'm making another pair. I've made the adjustments and I have sewn up all the legs. I haven't sewn up the inside leg yet though. So I've got to top stitch the back center seam, sew up the legs and get the waistband on, and we're good to go. I decided it would be extra cute, go the extra mile on my jeans and add some labels. I'm actually going to add 2 labels. I dug through, I have my stash of sewing labels in this Great British Sewing Bee tin that I got about 10 years ago. And considering this is all about making clothes that fit our body, these Love Yourself Revolution labels would be absolutely perfect. We had these in the SewHayleyJane boxes years ago. I say years ago, that sounds like a long time ago, probably within the last 5 years. They are from Little Rosy Cheeks and they are the cutest thing. Love Yourself Revolution. Sew clothes that fit your body and help heal your relationship with your body. Love the body that you've got and make clothes that make you feel amazing. The other thing I want to do is add a faux leather label. These ones are from the Specky Seamstress. This one says Stitched with Love, and I'm actually going to sew this on the waistband after doing the rest of the jeans. Once I've constructed the waistband, I'm going to sew this one on last, but this one has gone on the inner waistband before doing any other sewing. They're finished. I have literally just got back from heading out to photograph my Falconer pants in the denim, as well as the ones that I'm wearing now, which is my linen viscose ones, and I love them both. But my goodness me, it really highlighted the fact that different fabrics behave very differently even when making the same pattern. So with the linen viscose ones, obviously linen does kind of stretch a little bit, viscose is much floatier. Together they make a very lovely floaty pair of trousers, which I had to take in quite a lot at the waist as I was sewing them. I basted them together. I had to still take in quite a lot at the waist in order to get them to stay where I wanted. And even then, I probably still need to wear a belt, or I might go ahead and put a little bit of elastic along the back of the waistband just to sort of help cinch it in a little bit. So when I went and made my third pair of Falconers, I did those adjustments that I had done on the previous ones and on the linen ones, and I sort of forged ahead, taking in the sides at the waist and the back just a little bit, and the waistband. And for some reason, I think also I used a stiffer interfacing on the waistband on this one. So it is a little bit tighter, this pair. Still very wearable, like I can still wear them, but they are definitely much tighter. And for some reason, they're also a little bit, as Esme on the Great British Sewing Bee would say, a little bit hungry in the bum. However, super, super wearable, and not that this is the point, but where I am working at the garden centre now and I'm being much more active, I don't think it's going to be too long before these feel very comfortable, actually. So yeah, I'm still really, really happy, and I honestly, sewing them was such a pleasure. I'm so happy with them. I added a jeans button, although I do need to find a hammer to give that a really good whack to make sure that stays in place, because it's a little bit wibbly wobbly. I did the label at the back, and then I also added the faux leather label. The only thing that I'm a bit annoyed with is I forgot to increase the length of the top stitching. I don't think anyone is going to notice, but it's just a little detail that I notice. That's okay. That's fine. Literally everything. Oh, the other thing is, if you're going to make the Falconer pants and you're going to do top stitching with top stitching thread, buy two. Get 2 spools of top stitching thread, because that's what I have left, and I didn't use the top stitching to hem the trouser legs. Because that's all I had left, I said no, otherwise I'm going to end up with 1 top stitched hem and 1 regular hem, so which would have looked weirder. So the trouser legs are hemmed without top stitching thread, but I probably will get some more and just go over that with a top stitching thread, just because I feel like it finishes it off properly, like a proper pair of jeans. Yeah, everything else, like the construction, the instructions for the construction, is just amazing, and I am really, really excited because the Falconer pants are going to be the pattern of the month in the pattern club for ThreadySetGo. So if you haven't heard, ThreadySetGo is my new venture. It is an online sewing community hub with a free to join forum, as well as lots of other exciting benefits. We do twice weekly virtual sewing socials, so you can join from anywhere in the world from the comfort of your own home. And then once a month I feature a different pattern. This month, June, is the Helen's Closet Falconer pants. I have filmed some video tutorials showing you how to do the fly zip, showing you some top tips for top stitching, as well as sewing lovely little bar tacks as well. And then, very excitingly, on Monday the 30th of June, I will be going live online in an exclusive chat show style, very informal interview with Helen herself from Helen's Closet, as well as 2 other amazing special guests, Kate from the Fold line and Jen Hogg, who is the designer behind sewing tools brand Jenerates and was also a previous contestant on the Great British Sewing Bee, which, where is it? Where is the Great British Sewing Bee? It should be back by now. Kate from the Fold line, which I'm sure you will have heard of, is an award-winning pattern shop, online pattern shop and database. So I am so excited to have Helen, Kate and Jen all together in one place, and you can join us in the audience. Set up your sewing machine, your sewing space, and you can sew whilst listening. You can sit down with a cup of tea and put your feet up, or a glass of wine, listen to the chat, and then you can ask your own questions because it's like a live audience. So head on over to ThreadySetGo.com, check it out, check out all the details, and make sure you register to join the pattern club and sew your own pair of Helen's Closet Falconer pants. These honestly were so much fun to make. I am so happy with them. I think I will definitely make some more. I will give the barrel leg style a go at some point. I definitely want to try them in like a corduroy for winter, maybe a lightweight, lighter coloured denim or cotton twill or something like that, and really use this pattern as a base for making amazing trousers and jeans that fit my curvy bottom. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and I hope to see you soon. I really hope to see you over at ThreadySetGo as well. Enjoy making some Falconer pants. Bye.